everybody. Once again, this is Fred Nwankwo coming to you from our studios in Chicago with a Caribbean cruise edition of Bold Talk on Island TV. As usual, I'd like to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you, depending on where you are around the world. This episode is about a cruise. Anybody can go on a cruise. A lot of people have gone before me. Many more will go after me. And a lot of people have gone on better cruises. Many more will go on even better cruises. So that's not the point. So I don't want anybody to say, big deal, he went on a cruise. I'm doing this because that's what I do for a living. I show people what goes on and what I observe. On the Caribbean cruise, what I observe, first of all, I don't like cruising. I don't like water. I doubt that I'll do another cruise. It took a lot of convincing between my wife and my friends who we went together, 4 couples. It took a lot of convincing to convince me to go. But I enjoyed it. But I don't think I'll go on another one because I don't like water. With that said, I took time to observe like I always do. And what I noticed on this cruise and on the islands we visited is that while I enjoyed myself, it pained me because I'm Nigerian. And it pained me because I'm Nigerian because in Nigeria, we have way better resources to have the kind of places where people come in for tourism to do things. But we make no money on tourism. Why? Because in these small islands where they are so well organized, tourism is all they have, but they keep things clean and they keep touts and agberos and area boys away. The reason Nigeria cannot do it is that there is no privacy for tourists in Nigeria. Everywhere they go, the government hasn't set up structures to keep people who have no business being in certain places away from those certain places. You come into the Nigerian airport, it's area boys and agberos who have no business being there. All over the place, Oga, how much you will give me? Oga, wait you bring for me. And the authorities are actually sharing what they get with them. It's embarrassing. You go to the places, shopping malls, or places that need to be relaxing places. You have people who have no business there. Agberos all over the place, harassing tourists, harassing people. What you'll see here is people walking around taking care of their business, pulling out their wallets without fear of who will rob them. I'm not saying there is no crime in those countries, but in these areas that promote tourism and promote the image of the country, the authorities keep the crime away. If it happens, it's unusual. Unlike Nigeria, where if it doesn't happen, it's unusual. Kick back, relax, enjoy the video. You're gonna see that I try to break it down into the scenes we had on the ship, checking in and enjoying ourselves on the ship, the scenes we had, nightlife on the ship, and the scenes we had on different islands, Nassau, St. Martin, St. Martin, and St. Thomas. Enjoy the video and I hope you share it. Now what you see is us driving from the hotel in Orlando where we spent Saturday night to Cape Canaveral the next morning where we boarded the ship. Here is the Royal Caribbean, the wonder of the seas. It's a magnificent, magnificent ship. Here are the ladies, our wives, and here we're checking in. They're giving us instructions on how we're now on the boat or the ship. They don't like you to call it a boat. We are now on the ship They're giving us instructions on how to check in, and when we went upstairs, everybody's key card was by his door. Everything you did in there was not done on your credit card or cash anymore. It's now done on that key card. They call it the C-Pass. So besides what you already paid to get on the ship, everything you eat, breakfast, lunch, and dinner are included, so you don't pay for those. But all the drinking and shopping, or all the extra things you did on the ship with the merchants and stores on the ship were put on the C-Pass. And this is the room, this is the suite or the room. Very comfortable. It's not as huge as a hotel room, but it wasn't as claustrophobic as I thought it would be. I mean, it was very comfortable. The bathroom was big enough, the shower was big enough. It wasn't cramped. I mean, for those who haven't been, for somebody like me to go, who hates water, my experience was excellent. I didn't feel seasick. I didn't feel more seasick than the people I went to who are used to and enjoy sailing. And for the most part, you really didn't feel the ship moving. It just seemed like you were sitting on the ship, but it wasn't moving. And a good example is when we left St. Martin, heading back to Florida. We traveled 800 miles. When he announced it, it was shocking to me. Okay, this is one of the scenes by the swimming pool on top. I think this is the 15th floor, not the 16th floor, which is the top. And even me, if I could come up here and be videoing, I don't know anybody who could. We're way up on the 16th floor of the ship and videoing, and everything seemed great. Again, this is a ship. You're looking at it. On this approach, it looks like a high-rise somewhere. It doesn't look like a ship. And when you go in there, everything inside is like being in an apartment complex that has shopping malls and swimming pools and nightclubs and nightlife and everything in there. This is the gangway, because my fear going in, I've had local cruises on the Chicago River, and when you step in, you see water. On that thing you saw there was no water. You just go into the ship. These are our wives. We stepped out of the ship to go into Nassau. On this scene here, I think it's as we checked into the hotel. I think we haven't gotten into our rooms yet, but I just thought I'd shoot that. This was the scene we had, like when you're going through security at the airport. Before we got into the ship, you went through this airport lounge looking place, and they're checking your passport, they're checking your IDs and everything to be sure you have the papers to travel. Because going into that ship, even though it's still at Cape Canaveral in Orlando, Florida, stepping into that ship more or less is like stepping into a different country. You are no longer in America. Like the crew people on the ship joked with us. They said, when you're on the ship, you're in a different country. You could start drinking from morning to night. Nobody tells you when to start drinking. And that's true. More or less at 8 a.m., 9 a.m. in the morning, you could go into a restaurant and buy a drink. They're on a different law there. The captain is the president. The captain can actually marry people. And whichever country you live in, that marriage certificate is genuine. Just an experience. Again, we're on the 16th floor here, and what you're looking over there is water. That's water you're looking over. And I'm telling you guys, I had a blast. But for me, it wasn't just about the blast I had up to this point. It's about the sadness of saying that Why can't my own country create the same atmosphere? We can spend the money and create these in Nigeria. Question is, are we going to maintain them? Question is, are we going to keep the laws, maintain the laws so that people who break the laws, like the touts and agberos and area boys, are prosecuted? These are the questions you need to ask yourself. But I had a blast, and I just wanted to say that cruising is not about cruising. Cruising is about sharing experiences and probably getting authorities in our country to take a step back and think, because they've been on these cruises. They have more money to go on better cruises than we do, and they enjoy themselves when they go. Why can't they bring the same thing home and implement in our own country so that we too can go to our own country and bring friends to have a good time? On this scene you're looking at, I think we're on the 16th floor looking down into the swimming pool. And okay, now in this segment, we're inside the ship in the place where they call the Central Park. It has restaurants, it has stores, it has kiosks in the middle where people were selling very high-end, very expensive jewelry and watches, ice cream shops, coffee shops, lounging area. And people just come out here like going out to the shopping mall in whatever city you live and just shopping and walking around and having a good time. It's all on the ship. I always thought about these things when people went on cruises and came back and told me about it. My wife had been on two prior to this and has been trying to drag me out there, and I said, no way am I going on the water. And she always talked about these scenes, and in my head I kind of wondered, but it really never sank in until I went out there. In this scene, I think on my floor, I was on the 9th floor, I think, overlooking the Central Park. I just wanted to give you an overhead view. These elevators, they're like 8 banks of elevators, one on a different side, the other one on a different side, but back to back. And you just see people going up and down. And it was never unusually crowded like you find in certain places during rush hour. I mean, how couldn't it be rush hour? You have 7,000 people on a ship doing different things, going to different restaurants, having different schedules. But I don't think anybody could realistically complain and say that the elevators were excessively delayed. Occasionally, like the morning we were checking out, or sometimes when you're going for certain shows that everybody wanted to see, but the stairwell was there. You could also take the steps. But this shot, I think, was done from I was tempted to say hotel room, but my sailing room. And just showing you an overview. Yes, it's long. I wanted to make it long. I didn't want it to be a 15-minute video. I wanted it to be a full experience. For those who don't want to see the full experience, they could take an abbreviated view. And for those who really want to take a good look and experience what it's like, I wanted to give them a full overview of everything that I saw and more. Again, this is on the Central Park. We and our friends are walking around, lounging around between eating waiting for the shows at night. There were quite a few shows at night. We'll get to the Nightlife very soon. I didn't want to keep breaking them day by day, everything. I wanted to break the the ship scene and the Central Park scene and the hotel looking scene and shopping looking scene. I wanted to do them separate from the scenes that we did when we visited the islands and separate them from the night scene so things are just not everywhere. But it was 9 days on the water, and don't tell me to go again because I ain't going to no water no more. That's not my style. People who enjoy it really enjoy it. I wasn't scared, but I'm not gonna lie. It crossed my mind that I'm on the water and I'm in the hands of nature and the captain. But then coming to think of it, that's life. Everything you do, you're in the hands of God, nature, and your environment. So this is another one of the scenes. We're walking around, taking in the scenes, enjoying ourselves. Everything looks like we're on ground. If I wasn't doing this commentary and I was just showing you the video, I'm sure you would think we were out shopping at the Oak Brook Mall or downtown on in one of the stores on Michigan Avenue, but no, we're on water. And the amazing thing is that we're not stationary. The ship is sailing. It's moving while we're moving around and it's not rocking. I used to think that when you're in water, you'll be rocking left to right, and no, it was normal walking, stable walking. There was no rocking. And it was a beautiful experience. It really was. I think here we're going to dinner. Yeah, that looks like main dining room. Yeah, dinner is usually at 7:30. They open at 7 and start seating people. And here we're going to dinner. Dinner was usually formal, so you don't go casual for dinner. Breakfast and lunch, you could go in casually, but dinner, you don't have to be dressed up, but you need to be dressed up enough that not to look like a bum. You know, down to the part I've been waiting for, which I hope you two have been waiting for. We're off the ship. It's one of the scenes where we're docked at the shore. We came off the ship and we went into town. And I think this was Saint Martin by the scenes. Doesn't it look every bit of your own hometown in Nigeria? There are two ships here. One, I think the one on the right side is our ship. The one on the left, I think, is whatever it was. But it's another ship. Sometimes you find like 5 ships docked in some of the ports we got to. And here we came off the ship. We're walking. No, in this case, we're walking back to the ship. But it's okay. We'll get to the main thing I'm trying to show you. Now we're in a scene in Saint Martin, I think. And this is a shopping area where you come off, go into town, go dining, go looking around, rent a taxi or a bus, depending on the size of your group. And here's what I was talking about. This is my main thing about the governments of our countries, but in this case, I'm focused on Nigeria. Look at the cleanliness. Folks, I live in America, but I'm not a stranger to Nigeria. I go there all the time, whether it's in Lagos or Enugu or Kaduna or Jos or Benin City or wherever you go. Beautiful places built like this in Nigeria are built to look like this for 1 week. Within a week, by the time it's 6 months, when you come here, you're going to have area boys and touts and agberos mingling amongst the people. I'm not trying to put anybody down, but however, when you build things for tourism, for attraction, you need to maintain it as something that is built for attraction. You can't have tourists mingling with agberos and touts who for the most part, at every opportunity, is going to pick somebody's pocket. The impression is not good on the country. There was not a single island we went to that I felt uncomfortable for a second. Don't get me wrong. I know that those islands too have their own crimes. But at least in the areas where the government wants to promote and market and invite people to come and spend money in their country, you do what it takes to keep not just the merchants safe, but the tourists who come to spend tons of money. They're not spending peanuts. They're spending a lot of money. And if you don't guard the place, the money is not going to come. Hello? Am I saying anything new to anybody? Nigeria is a case in point. Who leaves their country and come to Nigeria to spend money? People come to Nigeria for necessity. But Nigeria could build attractions that bring people to Nigeria to spend money in safe environments. This is St. Martin. This is where our driver, very pleasant lady Jackie, she owned her own taxi, very beautiful taxi. If we ever go back there, we have her phone number. We're going to call her to be our guide. In this scene, she's taking us to go and have lunch. And folks, lunch was good. I'm not sure if I tied it directly to this segment, but ultimately you're going to see where we ate. It was mostly broiled chicken, oxtail, jollof-looking rice. The food was good, I must say that. And St. Martin wasn't expensive like Nassau. I'm sorry, Nassau. I'm not saying Nassau is too expensive, but St. Martin was very reasonable. Was it St. Martin or St. Thomas? One of those islands was very reasonable in their prices, to the point where you could get a bottle of beer for $3. In Nassau, I think a bottle of beer was like $8, but who cares? People were having a good time. Tell me this doesn't look as Nigeria as you can find, but that's where it ends. When it comes to safety and cleanliness, there is no comparison. Look at these cars. They are parked. We're driving by the shores of some water, and the buildings, some of them don't look as good as you find in Nigeria, but they just look clean. The environment is clean. That's what I liked. And this is my best part of the video because it's the part that while I was shooting it, I was depressed. Depressed because I was saying to myself, why can't my country offer me this? This scene is what my country offered me in the 60s and the 70s when I went to Bar Beach, or when I went around Victoria Island in Lagos, or go to Jos and go around Hill Station Hotel, or most GRA areas in Nigeria. If I'm in Enugu, around Presidential Hotel and around Independence, this is what you found. These days, many of these places maintain the name. They maintain the high cost of living in them, but they don't maintain the security. You're living in $1 million mansions, but you feel unsafe in your house. In these places, you're renting an average $80 a night place, and you feel as safe as you can feel. Yes, The people who defend the government in Nigeria will tell me that I'm demarketing my country. I say, no, I'm not demarketing my country. I'm bringing the deficiencies of my country to the attention of the people who should be able to do something about it. If they refuse to do something about it and I talk about it, I'm not doing anything wrong. You see, this is St. Martin. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm doing my job. They are the ones who are not doing their jobs. And I'm not here to patronize them. I am here to report what I see. As a matter of fact, next time what I may be doing is side by side, showing these islands next to places in Nigeria that should look like them, that don't look like them. The challenge whoever doesn't like what I'm saying here should have is to say, I'm going to prove that idiot wrong. The next time he comes to Nigeria, he's going to see that Nigeria can do better. I want Nigeria to do better. Nigeria is the most important place to me in life. But until Nigeria does better, I have to do my job. Pardon me. There is nightlife in these ships, and there is a huge auditorium that sits about 2,000 people. I'd like to show you a daytime view with nobody in it, and then I'll show you some select things I picked out from the night stuff, the few that I remember to record. Take a look. Folks, this is a humongous theater. We were here last night to see a show, but it was dark, you know, theater mode. So today I came out early this morning to kind of give you a lit view, or is it called lighted view? Lit view, lighted view, you pick one, of the massive theater to give you an idea how big these creatures, I'm walking downstairs now so I'm being careful, it gives you an idea how humongous these creatures can be and what these guys are doing with these cruise ships. To detract a little, so I included in my commentary, and don't forget, the other thing about these cruise ships, my wife likes cruising. This is my first one, and I don't think I'll do another one. My friends right now are doing their walk, and it's alongside all around the ship looking at the ocean. I chose to do my walk inside. It's enough space for me to get my exercise, but I could also do my work, which is what I'm doing now. But this is the theater in the daytime. It's a great place to be. guys proud of me? I came close to water. Aren't you proud of me? Wow. I came close to water, and that's as close as I will. This is the swimming deck, all outside overlooking the sea. And I think we're about 12 hours to Orlando, so the trip ends tomorrow. I'm so happy about that. It was an 8-day, 7-night trip. I've had my fix. If I ever do this again, it will be a 3-day cruise. There's no way you can get me on an 8-day cruise. It's fun gone too long. Good night. Now this night is, as we're winding down, it happened to be the birthday / anniversary of one of the couples, one of our friends that we went to, and the wedding crew at dinner surprised them and came out to sing happy birthday. Just watch.
Can I kiss the bride now? No, not yet. Backstreet Boys on it. Now we are the full Backstreet Boys. Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary.
And now my wife decides to be a daredevil. She told me not to include this, but there's nothing bad about it, so I decided I'll include it anyway. She decided to go on what they call the zip lining, which is like holding onto a whatever way up there, and there's a rope that goes right across at least 200 feet, and then down is probably about 200 feet or more, and she has to swing through that. Just take a look. Oh yeah.
Sure, turn around, you made it in one piece.
Bottom line is, if I could do this, you could do it, because I did not want to go on this trip. I've been invited to these cruises for at least 20 years now. I've been avoiding it because, yes, I do not like water, and I still don't like water. But I must tell you, my experience so far today is very without water. Yes, we're looking into the water, but it just doesn't seem like it. And for anybody who hasn't cruised because they are scared of the water motion, I think you should give it a try, especially walking in here. It seemed like you're walking into a hotel lobby. And now we're home. This is how we walk out of here after 8 days, 7 nights and 8 days. We're back home. That's it for this episode. I just want to say thank you for watching. It's been a very good experience for me. I hope it was for you too. And as usual, I want to say thank you to you. And until next time, good night and God bless.
Búburú kan kò ní ṣubú lù mí, àrùnkárùn kankan kò ní súnmọ́ ilé mi. Ìròyìn ayọ̀ létí mi yóò máa gbọ́. Lórúkọ Jésù, ire lójú mi yóò máa rí. Búburú kan kò ní ṣubú lù mí. Àrùnkárùn kankan kò ní súnmọ́ ilé mi. Ìròyìn ayọ̀ létí mi yóò máa gbọ́. Lórúkọ Jésù, ire lójú mi yóò máa rí. Bí mo bá jáde, ire ni tèmi. Bí mo bá padà wọlé, ire ni tèmi. Báwọn ọmọ mi bá jáde, ire ni tiwọn. Búburú kankan kò ní yà lọ dẹ̀dẹ̀ mi. Torí pé búburú kan kò ní ṣubú lù mí. Àrùnkárùn kankan kò ní súnmọ́ ilé. Ìròyìn ayọ̀ nìkan létí mi ò máa gbọ́. Lórúkọ Jésù o, ire lójú mi ò máa rí. Bíbélì wí pé Olúwa lolùṣọ́-àgùntàn mi, bẹ́ẹ̀ èmi kì yóò ṣaláìní ohun rere. Torí náà ire ni tèmi. Ire ni mo yàn lórúkọ Jésù, ire ni tèmi. Búburú kankan kò ní ṣubú lù mí. Àrùnkárùn kankan kò ní súnmọ́ ilé. Bí mo ṣe ń lọ tí mo ṣe ń bọ̀, bí mo ṣe sùn bí mo ṣe ń jí. Létí mi ò máa gbọ́. Lórúkọ Jésù, ire lójú mi ò máa rí. Lọ́jọ́ ilẹ̀ fẹ́ mẹ́jẹ, a ò ní jáde. Ààbò Ọlọ́run Olódùmarè adájú lórí mi. Lórúkọ Jésù, ire ni tèmi. Torí pé búburú kan kò ní ṣubú lù. Lórúkọ Jésù ni mo sọ. Àrùnkárùn kankan kò ní súnmọ́ ilé. Ó ní ẹ pàṣẹ ní ti ṣe ọwọ́ mi, èmi yóò sì ṣe. Létí mi ò máa gbọ́. Ire lèmi àti èèyàn. Lórúkọ Jésù, ire lójú mi ò máa rí. Àní sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ búburú kankan. A ò bá láyè.